This is my Sculpting for a Stronger, Better Bottom sequence, phase 2. You'll need a resistance band loop for this sequence and also a set of dumbbells, and these can be between 2 and 5 kilograms. If you haven't got a set of dumbbells, and don't worry, you could use empty water bottles and fill them with sand or soil to make them heavier. So let's get started. We're lying on our back with our feet shoulder width apart and our knees shoulder width apart. Now this is the bridge, but a more challenging version, so arms are by your sides with your palms turned up. We're going to lift the left foot up off the floor, bring the knee towards the chest. We're going to squeeze the glutes, lift up, take the leg a little higher, squeeze, and then lower. As you lower, remember that you want to bring your pelvis, your spine into a neutral position. So as you roll down, middle, lower, and then your tailbone come down to the floor. Keep your thighs fairly relaxed, your inner thighs relaxed, and just really focus on targeting the central part of your bottom here. It's the gluteus maximus, the technical name. You can feel this already. And you exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. We'll do one more. We'll lower the foot down to the floor. We'll switch over. So lifting the right foot up. Exhale, inhale. So you're keeping a slight bend in the knee, especially if you have tight hamstrings, it will be slightly easier for you. And you're squeezing those bottom muscles as you're lifting up, trying to keep this pelvis really stable. And remember, with the breath, you exhale through pursed lips, as if you're breathing out through a straw. Remember that umbrella breathing. Inhale, as you're coming down, expanding the ribs, exhale, squeezing the air out, and lifting, gentle lift of the pelvic floor and drawing the belly button towards your spine. One more, and lower to the floor. And now we're going to roll onto our side, and we're going to take the resistance band loop, and we'll place it over the feet, over the knees, flatten it out so there's no wrinkles in the band, otherwise it gets a little uncomfortable, and lie on your side. Right down on your arm, take your hand behind the back of your head, bring your knees up, a 45-degree angle here at your hips, and then lift both feet off the floor, and you've got your ankles stacked one on top of the other. We're going to open and close the top knee, getting resistance against the band here. Now, by using the band and also by having the feet lifted, it's a far more challenging version of the clam that we did in phase 1. You must make sure that you keep your hips really stable. So remember that if you're rolling back at the hip like that, just make the movement narrower so you don't need to lift the knee quite so high. Just keeping the hips really, really stable here. Breathing out, and I can really feel this kicking into the outside of the gluteals, outside of the bottom muscles here. 2 more, 1 more. Release, and then we'll switch sides, so bringing the legs around in front. Resting the hand behind the back of the head, bringing the knees up, taking the hand on the hips and lifting the feet. Keep those feet stacked and the heels in line with your bottom muscles. And your knees, remember, are towards the top of the mat. Now with the breathing, exhale as you open the knee, draw your belly button back, lift up that pelvic floor, inhale as you lower. So remember, we're trying to activate all the muscles around the pelvis, not just the gluteals here, but with the breathing, getting that breathing timed correctly, we're activating the muscles of the pelvic floor and the deep core muscles too. 2 more, 1 more, oh, I can feel that one, and release. Okay, so we're now going to switch sides. We're going to progress that exercise. So we're going to rest on our hands, spread the fingers, make sure the fingers are really flat to the floor, keeping the band, resistance band loop on. We're going to come up onto our knees, pushing the hips forwards, keeping one hip on top of the other. We're going to take a gentle side lift up, lower halfway, open the top knee. So we're lifting up, lower, open the top knee. Up, lower, open the top knee. Now with this exercise, I really love it because we're targeting the sides of the waist. I sneaked that one in. And then also, we're targeting, again, the outside of the glutes. So lifting up the side of the waist. Remember, you want to bring the shoulder in. 1 more. And rest. Bring the legs around inside, in front of you. resting on the hand, knees back, lifting the body up, bringing the shoulder in, take the hand on top of the hip, and then lift the side of the waist up, lower, open the top knee. Up, lower, open the top knee. And it's exhale, exhale. So you exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Again, you get value for your money with this one because you're targeting side of the waist along with the outside of the bottom. And also it helps with your shoulder strength too and your arm strength too. So make sure that hand is really flat. One more. And rest. We're going to keep the resistance band on the legs and we're going to come up to a standing position. Okay, and we're going to take our dumbbells now. So when you take your dumbbells, be careful how you're picking them off the floor. Try to squat down using the bottom and the legs. Picking the dumbbells up, taking our dumbbells in our side. Now, taking the feet together, small step to the right, coming slightly lower in the squat position. 2 steps to each side, drawing up the pelvic floor, drawing in the belly button, trying to stay nice and strong through the pelvis and the core. And these dumbbells here just adding more resistance, making this exercise more challenging from phase 1. Waking up those bottom muscles, strengthening, toning. Keep the breathing really relaxed. 2 more to each side. Keep your knees slightly out so you can get that tone through the legs. 1 more. And release. And now we're going to come in with our feet shoulder width apart. Okay, and keep a firm grip on your dumbbells. You're going to turn the knees out, get resistance in the band, and we'll sit back at the hips and exhale up. So again, we're squatting, but keeping the feet on the floor. We've taken away the mat now. And as you sit back, you're keeping all the body weight into the heels of the feet and the arches of the feet. Feet really strong and flat onto the floor, sitting right back at those hips, protecting your knee joints, which might be susceptible following the pregnancy, by sitting back at the hips and keeping the knees behind the toes. As you're coming up, exhale up, inhale lower, exhale up. Really activating the gluteals, the bottom muscles. 2 more, 1 more, and coming up. Now we're going to keep the band on. We're going to take the weights down, or you can keep the weights, it's your choice. Okay, if I take the weights down, this makes this exercise slightly easier. Taking the feet together with the hands in front, we're going to step to the side, do a lateral lunge, come up. Step to the other side, come up. So with this one, you're working again the outside of the bottom, but also lovely movement from the hip. As you exhale, you're coming up. Inhale as you lower. Be sure to sit right back at the hips here. Keep your toes pointing forwards. Heels in line with toes. The band just adds slightly more resistance, making the exercise slightly more challenging. But again, you can take your weights. 2 more. Really sitting back, really feeling this exercise in the inner thighs. Let's add another one on. And rest. So well done. You've completed the Sculpting for a Stronger, Better Bottom Phase 2 routine. I'll see you next time.